All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Cold Cast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef, and with me from Team Internet Gangsters, we do have Sender. Sender, thanks for being here for Ultimate Pandasoul.
Yeah, Beef, I saw you could use a helping hand, and my team's kind of MEA, may or may not be at Insania's house at some LAN or something, so I decided to do some casting.
Well, I know that I always appreciate you having you here, and the viewers do as well, bringing some fantastic insight and contrast with the cast. So we do have quite a good matchup here in the round of 16 Ultimate Pandasoul Day 2. The Diesel Electric Locomotives, aka Yolem's Locomotives, over here on the Legion side. They're going to be taking on Team Psycho, and this is definitely a team that probably not as many players have heard about, but these guys are pretty damn strong. They took down Ascension yesterday, who took down hashtag Asians in the round before, and Team Psycho, they've always kind of hovered in the top 20 ever since the beginning of Han Tour Season 1, when I believe that they were playing under some different names, such as Seeking Perfection and even a couple others in there. But what do you know about the Hellborn team?
I mean, they're mostly like high TMM players. A lot of them play SBT. They're very high skilled individually. I think their biggest weakness, like most teams that aren't experienced in competitive Han, is their teamwork. And I think they're a team to look out for in the future. Even maybe right now, but we'll just have to wait and see what they can show us.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. On the other side, Yolem and the boys have been looking good so far. They've got Bubbles, Sandwraith, and an Empath. I love seeing that Sandwraith Empath combination. It's so aggressive and fun to watch.
I remember last stream next summer I was saying look out for the Sand Wraith. Only a couple teams showed it. Most notably it was SGE was showing it, and most of the times even being banned. But now this hero is like just like really powerful. I wouldn't say he's the most OP carry right now, but he's like starting to get to that point where he's like no one wants to let another team get this hero.
Yeah, he is very strong, but Soul Reaper definitely one of those heroes that can have a little bit of a counter with that percentage-based damage of the Demonic Execution. Once you get Sandwraith into that ultra tanky state, a Soul Reaper can be a very effective way to counter him in the later stages of the game. But now we do have Keeper of the Forest coming out of the first pick out of the lock pool. No surprise there. This is going to open up Tempest plus Ophelia if the Hellborn team wants to take it, and it looks like their lineup could facilitate that. Do you see that being the next picks here for Team Psycho?
I mean, let's see. So they need a suicide and a jungler, most likely, and that would make the most sense. They go Ophelia Tempest. It would allow you a lot of pushing power, which is generally what you want against like better late game hero. But maybe they're thinking Parasite and Tempest, mix it up a bit, play aggressive. No, okay. They go. I mean, that's pretty standard. Those are two of the strongest heroes in the game right now, especially in this jungle meta. Right now, at least in scrims, the meta is kind of shifting towards like, are tri-lanes better than jungle? Is it equal? Is it who plays better?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see though. But right now, jungler is the current meta.
Yeah, I remember Casey actually mentioned that in an interview last week that a lot of teams have been trying out those tri-lanes to pretty good success. So excited to see the possibility of seeing those come into the competitive play over the next few weeks as we do start ramping up into a new competitive season with possibly a new community tournament coming up next week, Han Tour Season 2, as well as the Alienware Challenge on the horizon. Both of those events just 2 weeks away now. And, well, this is going to be one of the last chances for these teams to get practice before going into some of these bigger money events.
Indeed it is, but actually, no, I'm not going to get into that. Let's just say competitive Han will be mixed up for Han Tour Season 2. Probably don't know about it yet, but it will be.
Wow, Sender, with an announcement of an announcement, or like
Yeah.
is this like patch? Is
I'm
there a
playing in
patch on the
control.
way?
No, it's not a patch.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what Sender's talking about, guys. There's sometimes that I know what Sender's talking about. This is not one of those times. So Sender's holding out
Let's
on
see.
me, and I tell Sender all of my secrets. I came to Sender yesterday. I said, Sender, can you keep a secret? And he said yes. So I told him my
I'll
secret.
tell you later, Beef. Okay,
Wow.
I'll tell you later. But right now, the Hellborn team is being a little bit interesting. I don't really know what they're trying to accomplish with this four-man roam.
They do get that ward down, but it's kind of an interesting ward. one that you might sometimes see from the Legion team when you're worried about rotation from the bottom lane or jungle trying to attack your middle lane. But I don't know. What do you think about that ward?
Uh, uh, if I see the lanes, then I can probably predict a little bit better. Are they okay? Maybe in their minds, they're like, our Ophelia is so good at Parasite that we can beat it in their jungle too. You know, so what they just want some more. They want more vision. They block the hard camp, which is notably the camp that Parasite needs to actually function as a hero. Without the hard camp, he can't actually jungle unless he gets really lucky at the medium spawns. And right, Ophelia should be able to control this side of the jungle, which is in the area he's in, with the ward and with this help of Luna. And you already see Nier switching jungles because it's probably mind games. He's probably assuming they blocked his hard camp.
Interesting, yeah, and he does move jungles. Going to be heading up top with Keeper of the Forest, and Mr. Ling going to donate wards here to Parasite. So Nier going to be able to place those wards. Not going to be blocking anything, but it's going to be really interesting to see how he uses those wards, what kind of vision he's going to be focusing on. But in the bottom lane, we got the Sandwraith Empath going up against the pseudo tri-lane of Meraxes, Luna, and then the Ophelia in the jungle. How do you see this bottom lane shaping up?
Oh man, this is gonna be such a suffer for the Legion team. It looks like Ophelia might come in. He's got some good spawns right now. He's got a Skeleton King and a Minotaur back in the jungle.
Oh, and Sandwraith going to get blocked out a little bit right here. There's a wall from Panny, and Sandwraith will use the Desert's Curse to make his way through, so no deaths. And Sandwraith even going to get a kill on the Skeleton King. That helps out a bit, but there was a little bit of harassment done onto Panny at least.
Yeah, but they survived, and should be able to get the creep wave back in the tower. I would like. Oh, Nier's going for a yank on the middle lane right now.
Oh, he certainly is. That Minotaur, about 30% HP here. He comes on to Tempest. Minotaur Sun connects. There's the auto attacks. An uphill miss from Bubbles. Parasite going to drop the leech for the slow. And the Shell Surf goes in. Parasite might drop to the tower. No, Bubbles going to get that aggro. But Bloodlust kill going out as Sequence brings down Lulpex in the middle lane.
It's a really good gank and all, but I think I might have preferred to see Nier just power level to level 4. So then I kill in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was a really well set up kill. Ophelia and the Minotaur were hiding right behind the tower, just out of vision, and Meraxes plus Luna drove Empath back, doing the damage, and Ophelia simply had to come and just barely step forward an inch, dropped a Minotaur stun, and Panny went down.
But let's say if okay, so Nier got a great kill in the middle lane, but let's say if he power farmed the Hellborn jungle to level 4, then he could just switch bottom and really help out the Sandwraith. But right now he's switching jungles. He's gonna try to get some farm. He needs a little bit more if he wants to gank for this lane. Maybe not actually though. Sandwraith is a great kill lane. But he has no mana, so they can't really get any kills until he can get his mana pool up for sure.
Why? My numbers on the mana and health bars got turned off for some reason. I've been having some weird bugs with the UI.
You press it next to enter and it gets it back up.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. You probably just clicked it. And Ophelia is switching jungles. That's just bizarre to me. Like, you would assume that Parasite's gonna go to his own jungle, because that's just how usually people play now. So why are you switching jungles now that he's back in his own jungle?
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting decision, and right now the Vagabond gonna come in here in the bottom lane. Mana burn onto Meraxes. He does not have the mana for a stun. Panny going to use the wall on a Luna, so a target change. He gets the Essence Link up here. Luna gonna try to eat her way through some trees. There's the 1 second stun onto a Luna, but Hasted Bubbles shows up, and down goes Fegan.
Panny! Oh, that was so close. 10 HP.
Oh, did he almost die to creeps? I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Just too busy looking at the clan tag for Fegan.
Yeah, he went to 10 HP from the archers. There was like 4 archers attacking him.
It's a good thing Panny didn't drop his minor totem. He doesn't have a minor totem, never mind.
Oh.
No. I love Panny.
Let's see. So the Soul Reaper versus Tree matchup is going pretty even right now. I'd favor it a little bit to the Soul Reaper. I'd expect him to farm a little bit better, but just a good plays by Mr. Ling, being a pretty good offlaner, but a little bit unrecognized.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job up there. 19-1 currently. But like you said, pretty dang even. Once Keeper of the Forest hits level 6, though, if he does get assistance from just about anybody, the Soul Reaper could be in some bad shape. But same goes for Soul Reaper. He's going to have that Demonic Execution, and Mr. Ling's going to have to be very careful.
I think it would require a gank from a level 6 Sandwraith with Steam Boots or the Bubbles, and it wouldn't be just about anyone, because you have to realize Tree's not okay. So Tree's damage will be like what 200 root damage plus some auto attacks versus a Soul Reaper that heals himself. So the Soul Reaper will get an effect of like 900 or like more HP. So it's gonna take a little bit. It's not gonna be like an Empath or a Parasite gank even. It's gonna take 1 or 2 heroes that are provide a lot of damage output.
That's true, and we could definitely see Bubbles making his way up there. Sequence, of course, once he does hit the level 6 here momentarily, gonna have that kelp field available to him, and he's gonna be looking for kills. I suspect that he'll probably rotate back into that bottom lane right about that 6-minute mark. Try to set up a kill with a rune down there, and once that vision does likely expire, could be another easy kill onto a Luna, or might even be able to get a kill on the Meraxes if he does remain under level.
Yeah, this Meraxes, as you said, he's only level 3 right now. Gold per minute's not that good. It's kind of what you expect when you're contesting a lane, unless you're just totally dominating the lane. And, it's not where you want to be with your Meraxes. This hero is a hero that requires a ton of farm to be effective. He needs the upgraded boots, he needs the Blink Dagger. Unlike heroes like Fade, they just need the levels, this hero needs the gold as well.
It's definitely something that needs to be considered when picking up a hero like this, and you throw him in this pseudo tri lane, you expect him to do well, but right now Wild Hunter comes out. There's the auto attacks from the On the Hunt, and Sandwraith kind of going in, doing a little bit of damage. He's going to take a Quake as the Luna drops in the backfield, and now Merax is going to be driven back. So Yolem trading a little bit of his life there, but they pick up yet another kill onto Fegan, his second death, and he's suffering at 80 GPM.
Yeah, he is suffering. My question is, are they gonna go back down here? Like, can they really lane down here anymore? Like, it's 2v2.5 or 3, however you want to look at it. And you have a Tempest that's losing middle already. I would say this is the point in the game where you lane swap, or you get some assistance down here.
Yeah, definitely needs something to happen. And rotation maybe buying that Tempest could work as Bubble snags a double damage up top. He's got a kelp field available. He's going to drop that on Tempest, but the haste on Tempest should be activated here, and yes, it will be. So Lulpix going to be able to get out of there, no problem. Bottom river, though. Luna and Empath going at it. The wall looks like it missed. Essence Link doing a lot of damage. Penny will break that one, but only going to be able to get one more auto off. Luna throws out a power throw, and she will return to town for some regen.
Yeah, I guess if Panny hit the wall better, he probably would have got the kill on Aluna. Just some unfortunate miss micro. That hero is probably the hardest support hero to play in the game mechanically. At least with landing your spells.
Yeah, it certainly can take some pretty good practice to get those walls down. Players like support and yourself, Sender.
What? I can't play that hero.
No, Sender.
No.
Sender, I remember casting you in some SPHL qualifiers, and I was like, wow, Sender's a really good empath.
No way. That I can't believe you said that.
But then your team didn't win a qualifier, so...
Dude, I can't play that hero. I recognize it. I mean, maybe I showed a good game, but that's just lucky. Beginner's luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, beginner's luck.
I play a pretty good empath.
Oh, don't do your own horn beef,
I mean,
please.
I'm just saying, I play a pretty good empath. I play that hero a lot. On my pure support account, she's like 20% of my hero played.
Alright.
So deal with
But guys,
Sender.
what have we learned here today? Actually, I'm not going to go there.
You know
Anyways.
I'm just really glad you didn't snipe me on Pyromancer the other day. I would have lost it.
Yeah, I was in the mood for playing Han that day.
I found out I wasn't either. Oh, no.
Okay, so right now, there's going to be a gank going on this bottom lane. You got an Invis Wild Hunter.
So many Wild Hunters down here on the hunt, looking for a Luna. Nice Quake stun out of Meraxes, hitting two though. Sandra, beautiful wall coming in, and Sandra did use the Mirage, get those deserted auto attacks on, but with a TP, well, now Parasite could be in trouble. Just kidding, Bubbles comes in, drops the kelp field. Oh, great use of the Matrix, though, and Meraxis is going to heal up through this. A beautiful Tempest Elemental Void, and Meraxis will live. Parasite wants to go in and pop that Chalice for a Leech, but not going to happen. Great rotation coming out of Lulpix, and they turned that one around.
In the meantime, the Hellborn is going to get a tower top, so really good turn of events with a Luna for a Bubbles and a tier 1 tower. So it's just really good exchange of events for the team right now. It's going to be a huge gold swing.
Certainly is, and just like that, that gold does swing in favor of the Hellborn team. Sorper starting to take off in the top lane. He's up at 372 gold per minute after the last hit on that tower. So he's really having a good time. Mr. Ling down to just about 250, and as soon as he comes out of that invis, he might
Joel
get
might be in some trouble bottom. Actually, no, he's fine. He has a Q.
Yeah, he should be okay. Has the power supply as well, and he will have to return, get some regen on. Almost got hit by that power throw, but don't think that would have killed him either way.
It's just annoying being forced out of lane. It's not, you want to keep farming when you don't have your ultimate on sand, right? That's when you farm. And their continued pressure in the top lane. Oh, that's some big diving by Ophelia.
Yeah, she's going to take a considerable amount of damage from that tower, but it's just showing that they have no respect for Mr. Ling, and they really need to. They don't have vision up here. And here's Bubbles. He's got the kelp field available. Going to drop it. Nope, he's going to drop that shell surf, excuse me. And that will put an end to the push up here. Ophelia going to rotate down the river. But there's now a push being mounted in the bottom lane. Sandra is there to defend. So it doesn't look like this tower is going to go down anytime soon. Cinder is timed out. Oh no. Cinder, please. Cinder, why are you doing this to me? Well, I'm going to do the casting for both of us now. Well, Beef, there's something interesting to look at right now. That's the fact that Tempest is going to be making his way down the river. He's going to want to get this regen, but he's a little bit too afraid. Bubbles is instead going to be able to pick that up, and that's really going to be great for sequence. Vulpix is now going to be set back a little bit, but up in the top lane, oh yeah, up in the top lane, Sender, we got Keeper of the Forest. He's going to be taking some additional pressure from Solar being played by Purple Rexar. And here we go, bottom lane. Fegan gonna go down, and Merax is gonna get stunned out here by the kelp field. Activates the Matrix versus 4. I don't think that's gonna help you out, Rocky Balboa. Does hit the 10 charge mana better, and he's trying to get out of here. TP support coming in. There's the Desert's Curse, but damn, that was a lot of damage. Tempest maybe gonna try to pick up a kill onto Empath, and nope, Empath hops inside of Sandra. Tempest could be the one in trouble now. But Tempest gets support by way of Fegan, teleporting back in once more. And I'm not going to do my Sender voice anymore because it's awful. And Tempest looks like he's going to go down here. Mirage going to be used, and Sandra picks up the kill. Fegan going to be forced out of lane once again. But so far, Yolem and the Locomotives have just been dominating in this game. Sandra having a pretty good start in a bad situation to begin with, a 2v3 situation. He's sitting at 313 gold per minute, the top on his team. But that Soul Reaper, yeah, Purple Rexar continuing to put pressure on the tier 2 tower top. It is possible that he will bring that one down pretty soon here. I'm a little bit worried about Sender. Some of you might cry DDoS. I wouldn't. Some of you might. Top lane will go down now as Ophelia joins the party. And Sorper puts an end to that one. You're going to clean up all 5 of the Keep the Forest minions as well. Parasite is here as well as Bubbles. He's got a kelp field. Going to be looking for 2 kills right now. There's the kelp field onto 2. Song of the Sea silencing out Ophelia. She'll drop that heal as soon as she can. Not going to get it off right now. The Demonic Execution trying to finish off Bubbles before Sorper goes down, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. A beautiful wall coming out of Panny. Call him support 2.0 as he gets leeched down, and that movement speed is gone. Final auto attacks coming out, and Panny brings home the 2nd kill. So you get that tower up in the top lane, but 2 kills coming out, and a nice experience swing in favor of the Diesel Electric Locomotives. They've got to be happy with that series of events. the bottom lane. A lot of damage was done down here as well. And looks like they did clean up some double or triple stacked Ancients. So they're very lucky that Sandrake does not have his ultimate. In fact, he might pop it as soon as it comes up right here, looking for a kill on Meraxis. Not going to be able to find one, unfortunately. Yeah, they had vision from this ward, so they knew that Ancients were going on. Hoping to maybe get a pick off there on a straggler. It's one of those ultimates that's not on too long of a cooldown. I want to say it is 140 seconds. No, 120 seconds at level 1. Yeah, 120, 180. And speaking of Sandrake, he's in a lot of trouble. Bottom lane, 5 players from the Hellborn team converging on Yolam and giving him his first death of the game. A necessary kill onto a very strong hero, and a hero that was getting a considerable amount of farm as well, sitting on 60 CS. In the meantime, Mr. Link gets his revenge up top as he brings down a tower, and Bubbles having to use the Shell Surf to get out of the bottom lane, where the 5 players of the Hellborn team continue their rampage. They're looking to take another tier 2 tower, looking to open up the bottom side of this map, but Parasite and Empath are kind of in the vicinity. And Parasite going to go Invis here. He has had such good luck with these Wild Hunters, really making sure to stack up those medium camps as best as possible, maximize the number of Wild Hunters that he is going to be able to use. But Empath is coming over. Wild Hunter does reveal itself, and a nice wall. Meraxis is going to be completely locked out. He activates the Matrix. Wolpic's going to be coming in. Could be looking for a big Elemental Void, but Bubbles hasted along the side here. And there's the Shell Surf Song of the Sea under 2. Kelfield catches him as well. Tempest going to be TPing out. Nothing to stop that one, so Lulpix is gone. He's not going to be able to drop an Elemental Void, which means Ophelia is now going to be in a lot of trouble. She goes down. Sandrake looking for more on the slow Meraxis here. Meraxis drops the Quake, but Shell Surf comes in. Bubbles landing the autos. Leech slows him down. Lulpix coming in, looking for a big Elemental Void. Gonna drop it inside of the tower. Will the tower focus fire down Parasite the entire time? No! A TP coming in from Aluna. The power throw gonna connect, but it was not enough damage. You could just say that Fegan might have hair-axed his teammate as the tower stopped firing on Parasite, and he does escape. TP out. Oh man, things not looking so hot here for Team Psycho. Legion team definitely taking a sizable advantage as they will get one more. A Tempest gonna go down as Sequence and Yolam really help out on that one. Aluna could take her 6th death of the game here. No, barely make it back into town. Sorry for showing up. Wants to make something happen, but unfortunately cannot. Things starting to get quite out of hand here. The diesel electric locomotives steamrolling their way into the round of 8, possibly. Right now they're looking like they have a pretty substantial advantage in this first game. Merax is throwing out axes here, but was not able to connect. Mr. Ling instead going to invis himself. And look at Bubbles mid. Portal key into the kelp field. Song of the Sea silence, making sure that Sorper's not able to heal up too much. Sandra shows up with the Mirage, drops the Desert Curse and the Energizer. They're going to run down the Luna. Fegan turns it around, throws out a power throw just before dropping himself. One final act of desperation, hoping that that power throw might roll a natural 20 or whatever it's called in D&D. Get that big critical strike and do 6 times as much damage as normal, one-shotting the entire team. Who knows, who knows. Up top, though, Mr. Ling has finished up his Soul's Boy. But he could be in a little bit of trouble here. Going to take some damage at the hands of Araxis, but he's a pretty tanky dude in general. And they do have Dust. Okay, so the turnaround going to be coming in here. The level 2 root might finish off Meraxis, but he doesn't have it on cooldown. And down goes Ling. Was not expecting 3, especially not before his root was up. And he does go down. Guys, I am legitimately concerned about Sender. Where is he? Sender gone? Has Sender been taken out of the game? I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back for some of the later games today, but it looks like he might be gone for good from this one. It certainly doesn't look like this one should last too much longer. With the Locomotives running full steam, Codex picked up by Parasite, and they're just going to continue farming, looking to take some map control here. And Parasite wants to get a kill middle lane. Codex does finish off a Luna, but is it worth it? At what cost? Well, not at too substantial of a cost, at least just yet, as the Catman champion will get away. Demonic execution up the hill. Those creeps given the vision that was needed. So, okay, at what cost? Well, at the cost of his own life. But that distraction being run did grant them a kill on the bottom tower. Oh, middle lane, Mr. Ling once again in trouble. Elemental Void going to be catching two right here. Mr. Ling gonna get out of there. Drops the root. And already we do have the Ophelia going to be going down. Quake Stun is going to be missed. Give the Voice having to stay way far back, but Tempest and Soul Reaper are still going hard. They are surrounded, though, for the most part. And is Bubbles going to re-engage? It doesn't look like it. Empath and Sandwraith just trying to re-engage onto some creeps, get some additional farm there, but not looking to take a full-out team fight. Raxus going to be trying to steal some double stack jungle camps from his opponents. Unfortunately, he does have to PK on out of there before he dies. Knowing that Sandwraith ultimate is off cooldown pretty soon here, it's a very dangerous proposition, especially since Parasite and the Keeper of the Forest were both kind of there in the vicinity. Sandwraith, what items does he have? Okay, there's a Sword of the High. I was going to say, he has not really had much for a while. Just sitting on the Steam Boots and his strong core with that power supply and Mystic Vestments. Grabbed the Energizer as well for some increased stats and mobility. But Sword of the High, so he will go straight for that Mock of Brilliance. Going to mean that he is squishier and does have to play a little bit more positional rather than just being able to run straight forward, but with that consistent damage aura going on around him, he is going to be a major threat for the opposing team here. They're going to have to be very, very wary of what's going on, and I like that decision because there are multiple portal keys now on Meraxis as well as Tempest. Being able to shut down those portal keys with the use of that Mirage and the Mock of Brilliance on the Mirage is holy moly. Fegan goes down once again in the middle lane, and a Mirage going to be used. Who is Sandwraith going to go on? That was the bottom lane. Couldn't see it down there, but Soul Reaper is going to be the target of choice. 4 players ganging up on the poor little Soul Reaper. And he does go down. Sandwraith gets credit for the kill and finishes up his Mock of Brilliance 22 minutes in. Golden Experience lead getting mighty out of hand. Team Psycho, a lot of them retreating into their base right now, and when you're looking at this kind of a disadvantage, 19-5 in hero kills, nearly 10,000 gold and 14,000 experience, you got to consider when you're in this series, do we just move on, cut our losses right now, move on to game 2 before putting ourselves at risk of going on tilt? It's always something to consider in these series games. Bubbles going to be doing a little bit of stacking there. Ling just soaking up some experience in the middle lane. There's dust on Tempest, but don't expect him to just go popping it off randomly for a Keeper of the Forest. And speaking of invisible units, Bubbles once again has an invis. 45 seconds left on this one. Maybe looking to make a pickoff happen, and Soul Reaper might just be that pickoff with no barrier idol. He might be a target. I don't think they're going to have enough damage, though. Not without Parasite coming up to help, and unfortunately he's going the wrong way from the middle river. There's Sandwraith, though. Going to activate the Mirage. Calfield into the Song of the Sea. Silence. Root even going to be used from Keeper of the Forest before all three of them do retreat. Sandwraith going to cancel the TP. Elemental Void going to be used on Keeper of the Forest. Keeper not going to survive, but did tank long enough for the rest of his team to get out of there. And forced out an Elemental Void, so that certainly helps.
Denied.
Danny's Empath just doing a little bit of farming here in the bottom lane. He's looking to finish up his push tick as soon as possible. And that will certainly help. I'm really worried, Sender. Sender, come back. You can blame it all on me. I hope something's not seriously wrong. What if Sender's house exploded, guys? That'd be really sad. No, I'm sure his internet's just out as Nier gets a kill up top onto Ophelia. Gonna even steal one of the Skeleton Kings, adding insult to injury. It's always so hard to follow those ganks because he doesn't show up as a hero on the map. He just shows up as a little dot like this. Like that right there. Much harder to follow than a hero dot. Both teams just kind of sitting back. Unfortunately for the Hellborn team, they're kind of being caught out and picked off repeatedly as things shift further and further into the favor of our Legion team. Sorber looking like he wants to go for either a Grimoire Power or a Sheepstick. I used to see a Blessed Orb and just say, oh, it's a Sheepstick. But have to include that Grimoire Power these days with the mana regen and innate farming mechanic. It really has become quite a popular item on many int heroes and even some non-int heroes. Middle lane, Mr. Ling, is he getting caught out again? He's going to drop the root. Demonic Execution doing a lot of damage. Push stick forward from Pandy and a beautiful portal key. Disjoining the final auto attacks. Keeper of the Forest will survive. Very well played by Ling and with the assistance from Panny. Not bad. He shouldn't have been there in the first place, but at least he got out without dying. Did burn that 110-second cooldown on the ultimate, though. Or is that 120? 120. And this is a chance that the Hellborn team needs. With no ultimate coming in from Keeper of the Forest, this could be what they needed to actually make their way up the middle lane and try to mount a push. Speaking of Sheepsticks, though, Bubbles grabs the Sheepstick right here. Sandwraith perhaps going to be on the way toward an Elder Parasite. Other option would be that Behemoth's Heart, as I don't believe that he's going to be going for an Icon of the Goddess. But he could finish up that Elder Parasite at any point, so I think that he's going to be waiting and saving for a Behemoth's Heart right now. Not feeling pressured to pick up any Walmart-type items just yet. He'll save up and go big. Pick something up from the crate and barrel. You'll notice that dust did not actually work right there. Parasite is going to get caught out. Mirage, as Parasite takes a lot of damage. Sheepstick goes out onto Tempest. Parasite will drop, but not before he actually does a lot of damage. Kills Ophelia. Tempest going to survive for now, and there's the Empath. Hopping in Sandwraith. Sandwraith ready to go hard. Has the Desert's Curse available in a few seconds here. Bada boom goes the Dynamite. It's available. There's the Elemental Void. Push stick interrupts it immediately. Boom goes the Dynamite. Takes out Sandwraith. Empath going to fall shortly thereafter. No buybacks coming in just yet. So far, 3 for 2 exchange favoring the Hellborn team. There's the second Sheepstick, this time going on to Soul Reaper. Silence not going to connect, and looks like the Legion team will be forced back. The Hellborn just a little bit too scared to force down the tower here in the middle lane, though. Keeper of the Forest wanting to go forward. He does have a root available, but does not have uphill vision to seal Luna. Oh, no. And Miraxis using that regen Throwing out some more axes. I'm going to message Sender because he's still on Skype. I think Sender's a fraud. Sender? Maybe he's on his phone or something. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are enjoying Ultimate Pandasoul so far this weekend with today's coverage of Colecast. I know I am very much so enjoying myself being back in the caster's seat after a full 11 days of not casting. It seemed like an eternity for me. I assure you we have been doing some stuff behind the scenes. I got to watch the quote-unquote final cut of the Colt documentary last night as Bubbles and Sandwraith going to be going on to Meraxis here. The Sheepstick going to be activated. Matrax is popped as well. Meraxis trying to turn it around, but there's the Kelp Field stunning out too. Bubbles in trouble even with that empath inside of him, taking a lot of damage. He's going to try to shell serve away. No! Demonic Execution finishes him up. And Panny trying to run away. Not going to happen, my Greek friend. He goes down as well as the Hellborn team. They are starting to mount a comeback here. The Soul Reaper doing work with the lockdown potential of the Meraxis and the Tempest surrounding him, and the double heals from Ophelia Soul Reaper. They're making these fights work for them. Now they're going to be taking a look at Kongor. With a token of life on Soul Reaper, that could be huge, but this is an extremely risky endeavor, and yes, they will choose to move back. Meraxis even going to go forward here on the Sandwraith, though. Emerald Red Lightning goes out with the 2-second stud. Keeper to Force gets the 4-man root, but down goes Sandwraith. Parasite going to be coming in, trying to finish off Meraxis. Yes, the Codex will finish Meraxis. And Tempest going to be trying to keep pace with Parasite, looking for a set of Glacial Blast. There's stun number 1 into the Emerald Lightning. A full 2-second stun right there. Parasite gonna drop. 4 players dead. Keeper of the Force, the only one to live, and he did burn that ultimate. Holy crap, are we starting to see a comeback from this Hellborn team? I think it's a very real possibility. Soul Reaper has the money to finish up either that Grimoire of Power and then some, or even finish up that Sheepstick with an extra 1,500 to spare. Look to see Purple Rexar bring some new big items to the table. There's the Sheepstick finishing up. And if they're able to get 2 Sheepsticks going on this team, probably by way of the Tempest and maybe the Soul Reaper, or excuse me, the Soul Reaper and maybe the Tempest, or even the Meraxis. Double Sheeps onto the Sandwraith will be phenomenal, especially if they can use those to lock him down before he's able to get a consistent amount of damage done using that Mirage. That could be absolutely fantastic. Right now, though, they're looking to play it safe. They know they've just gotten somewhat of a lead in this game, or at least evened it up a bit. Right now, Tempest could be taking considerable damage. The Ophelia Ultimate was used, and with the Glacial Blast, it was enough to make sure that Sandwraith could not get the kill. Not bad. So the Hellborn team definitely doing work. Right now their vision is pretty limited, so they need to be playing cautious until they can start to gradually expand their ward vision. Penny placing his wards quite aggressively, even one covering this Kongor area, but that's going to expire in a moment. He's looking to do some counter warding himself. Walking right by that ward of sight, needs to be careful. As I mentioned in these kind of behind the scenes things, guys, been definitely working hard. Got some future events that are starting to take shape. Even one that I'm hoping to be able to get at least some details about as early as tomorrow. Speaking of as early as tomorrow, Complexity documentary, as I indicated, I watched the quote-unquote final cut of the documentary last night. And I have to say, for as long as it's taken, it actually turned out a little bit better than I was expecting. I was getting kind of worried there for a while, because, I mean, when we put the documentary together, I was just a guy taking my camcorder to Vegas to highlight some videos, an interview or two, and then I started filming a bunch, and my director said, hey, my content director said, hey, we could make a documentary out of this. And then I filmed 7 hours of video, and I've never filmed anything in my life before, but hell, through the miracles of editing, we've actually got a pretty damn good documentary about the Cole Haan team in Vegas on our hands, and we are very anxious to release that. I'm going to try to push for a release as soon as possible. Might actually delay that until next week, simply because there is going to be the information released about Han Tour Season 2 this Friday. And, well, don't want to get cluttered up too much with that news. Want to give it its own time to shine, but we'll see, guys. I certainly expect it within the next week. And I'm very much so looking forward to sharing that with you guys, as I'm quite proud of what we've put together. And a big shout out to my guys over at Complexity for helping out with that and investing so many hours. It's our first time, all of us, working on a documentary like that. As there's initiation in the middle lane, Rax is going to take the sheep stick, activates the Matrix, and he's going to be trying to get away from there. In the back, Parasite going to infest an imp, and he's going to get out of there as well. Keeping the Force going to drop the root onto 3. Bubbles comes in with the follow-up silence. Sheep going out onto Sandwraith, though, and Sandwraith could be in a lot of trouble. Yes, demonic execution finishes him off. Empath going to push himself up the cliff. Parasite going to go down as well. MSI comeback? Is that actually what's happening right now? I'm not sure. The Hellborn team all going to fall back here, as there was a buyback on Sandwraith. They want to go regen and re-engage, knowing that their cooldowns are a little bit shorter. They didn't burn an Elemental Void. They're going to be able to re-engage this one very effectively. 40 seconds left on the cooldown here for Demonic Execution, whereas you've got full 70 seconds on that Keep of the Forest route. This could be a time for the Hellborn to force an engagement inside of the Conqueror pit, and Panny could be in some trouble. No, he's going to get that wall up, but the ward will get countered immediately. Vegan had that ward down, the Ward of Revelation, that is, for quite some time, and Rax is going to start tanking out Kongor. Soiper will come in and throw in the autos as well as the heal bombs to keep his team topped off. 48 seconds until Keep of the Forest has a route available. Will the Legion team look to engage on this? I'm not sure. And the Hellborn team might say, hey, screw it, we're not going to wait around for you guys to go for this engagement. We're going to engage on you, but if they're going to do that, they need to do it fast. Kongor sitting a little below half-life. And the Hellborn team, not confident at this point. They saw that the Legion team backed off. They got the counter wards done, and now they're going to go for a blitz attempt on Kongor. The Legion backed off themselves. They're giving up this Kongor kill for free. No indication, even when they realize what's going on, of trying to come back over. Kong goes down. Soul Reaper grabs the Token of Life. And hell, this Hellborn team could be going hard right now. Bubble's going to take some Glacial Blasts here. Beautiful Quake Stun coming in just after the take cover. The Sheep Stick going to be used, and Sequence takes the fall. Retribution coming in for Lulpex. He's got to be happy about that kill. Sandwraith up top, continuing to try to farm. He's got enough money for his Behemoth's Heart right about now. Will he buy it and go all in, or will he save for a buyback? Who knows? Right now, though, the Hellborn team's looking at this Rax, saying defensive tower. 4 players up. Ain't no thing. No buyback here for Bubbles. And there's the Reaver coming in for Sandwraith. No, he opts to go for a Firebrand instead, saving enough money for a buyback. A nice wall coming in, as Miraxus will take a considerable amount of damage, with the melee Rax being dropped rather quickly. Baiting out the stun, the Rax goes down. There's the face hug, but the Matrix was already activated. Sandwraith in a lot of trouble. The Demonic Execution was about to go out. Instead, an Elemental Void going to catch Parasite. Parasite drops. Keeping the Force getting silenced out. He's not able to get the ultimate off, and Parasite, as well as Keeping the Force, die. Keeper immediately buying back, trying to get back into the fight. Sandwraith going to activate the Mirage, now doing a lot of damage. Going to pour it forward, trying to get to the Soul Reaper, but he's got that Token of Life. Bubble's going to be coming in as well. Root onto 5 players. Sandwraith goes down. He's going to buy back. Bubbles in the front lines. He gets sheeped out after getting in the Kelpfield off. TP going to be interrupted on Ophelia. She's getting beaten down by Mr. Ling. But the Hellborn team still 4 up. How long is that going to last? Soul Reaper with the Token of Life. He is going to drop. Rax is coming back in, dropping the Quake right here. Soul Reaper, no Demonic Execution available. Emerald Red Lightning stunning out Sandwraith. Sandwraith taking a lot of damage, but he does get the Invis off. 3 players dead for the Hellborn team, as the Legion could be forcing them back. This game is getting intense, ladies and gentlemen. Meraxis and Soul Reaper, the only ones to survive. 3 deaths and a token of life were the cost. On the Legion side, though, having to expend 2 buybacks, as well as losing a full set of racks and 3 deaths. Well worth it for the Hellborn squad. Sandra now going to try to continue farming. He's looking for that Behemoth's Heart. On the other side of things, though, Behemoth's Heart already finished on Soul Reaper. 516 gold per minute now on Purple Rexar. He is doing phenomenal amounts of work. Other big item pickups on the way. Looks like that Sheepstick is going to be worked on by Meraxis. I like that pickup. Shrunken Head finished up on Tempest. He's going to be looking for those big ults. Has to dodge the Parasite and Keeper of the Forest ultimates, though. Both of those will go straight through the Shrunken Head. I suspect that Tempest will start to work on that Refresher next. And Mr. Ling, he's been banking up a lot of gold himself. 3,500 right now, even after buying back in that last team fight. He could be looking for a Refresher himself, hell, even something like the Sheepstick, or finishing up the Demonic Breastplate. Top lane, though, the Hellborn team, they want somebody. They are on the hunt. Not the Wild Hunter that's Invis. Sandrick going to activate the Mirage Ultimate, looking for some information, looking for a pick-off. 5 players from the Hellborn team together, not going to find that pick-off. Will get the valuable scouting reconnaissance. Poor Luna. Vegan dropping 7 times early in this game. That's had a considerable recovery, up to nearly 200 gold per minute, finishing up the Steam Boots investments. Power supply that is so crucial to support living in these later game encounters. And Barry Rattle finished up on Ophelia. Interesting that Slarper actually went for the Shaman's Headdress here and didn't finish up the Barry Rattle. Expect that to be completed. Sandra's going to take a tower in the middle lane. And they're actually going to start wailing on the bottom lane, forcing a retreat from the Hellborn. One going to back up minimum. There's Meraxis, gets the stun off before more TP support comes in. Empath looking to get in on somebody. Nice push stick, but the Glacial Blast not going to be enough. And Sandraith will escape in the bottom lane. The Matrax is going to detonate. Sandraith going to get scouted out here, and Meraxis goes in, misses, unfortunately. Sandraith gets the TP on out of there. What the hell is Mr. Ling doing? PKing into a very bad area. This is going to be disaster for the Legion squad, and Ling will drop a champion of North Streak for Purple Rexar. I do not even remotely know what Mr. Ling was thinking there. He has a buyback, but he does not want to have to use a buyback right now. He wants to be finishing up a big item. He was at 5,600 gold, something along those lines. And there we go. Ling saying, oh, what the heck was going on there? Maybe some kind of an issue, some kind of lag, some kind of misclick. I'm not entirely sure, but I assure you of this, whatever he did right there was not intentional. The resource advantage still barely hangs in favor of the Legion team, but how much does that matter right now? And the items and the ability to engage are just so great. As Parasite is going to get caught out here, Nier goes down. And the diesel electric motives are being ground to a halt. Somebody pulled the emergency stop cord on this train. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but they're starting to fall apart here. Whether it's just losing that momentum, they're not being able to regain it, losing focus. Maybe some kind of a central leadership issue, or just getting even to the point of too overconfident. Is even I thought this game was pretty much over about 15 minutes ago. Right now, they've definitely given their opponents an avenue back in. Sandrith is still a pretty fearsome target. Has no buybacks left, though. And will have to port home right now. Going to finish up the Behemoth's Heart or Shrunken Head. Okay. He's going the Anchor route. Shrunken Head, Firebrand, and the Beast Heart into Behemoth's Heart all at the same time. And nice wall coming in. But the Arcane Shield going to keep Meraxis safe for now. Barrier Auto activated. Look for the heavy push right now. Refresher was picked up on Keep of the Forest, so look for that to come into play. in this next team fight, but this defensive tower is dropping and the creep wave is not going anywhere. Melarak's going to start to take some pressure, and if the Legion team wants to engage on this, they're going to need to go in the next couple of seconds. There's the empath ult. Sheepstick going out onto Tempest right here. Keeping the Force comes in. Shrunken Head activated. Tempest gets the Elemental Void onto Sandwraith. Interrupted by Parasite. Tempest going to be dropping. Sandwraith going hard in the front lines, taking a lot of damage, but dealing out a lot himself. Ophelia gets taken out by Parasite, and now Sandwraith getting gone on by Meraxis. Demonic Execution and Parasite. Oh, Sandwraith will go down. It's now going to be up to the rest of this Legion team to hold him off, but they are out of Keeper of the Forest Ultimates. Tempest binds back, grabs the post haste. TP's into the bottom lane here. Down goes Bubbles, and this could very well do it. Tempest comes forward. Glacial Blast going on for here. Stunning out Empath. Bubbles going to try to help out his teammate with the silence, but the melee racks are down. The damage is done. And I think that we could be putting this one into the books, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Psycho is in the middle of a pretty damn phenomenal comeback against the highly favored Locomotives. Yolem and the boys on the verge of being put in a do-or-die situation, as they likely will drop game number 1. Best of 3 single elimination tournament here for Ultimate Series Pandasoul. So if they drop this one, they're only 1 game away from elimination. You know that if there is any chance, they want to take that chance. 20 seconds until resurrection for Sandwraith. Holy crap, Parasite going hard on the Meraxis. Meraxis will drop right now. A lot of damage being done, but Bubbles sheeped out and looks like he's going to get killed. No, a beautiful take cover into the shell surf. He gets out of there. Near going to be able to get a kill onto Aluna as well. Tempest going to try to TP on away. Not going to happen. Soul Reaper is the only one to survive, so 2 racks down. And it doesn't matter. The Diesel Electric Locomotives take a 9,000 experience lead once again in this game, and they're still trying to make something happen. They've got a period of time now to try to make a comeback, try to equalize this rack situation. And they're going to try to make their way right up the middle and bottom lanes, push both those out as best as they can. They're not aware of the buyback situation on the Hellborn team, but we can see no buyback on Tpsy. He just burnt one. Meraxis and Aluna, however, both have theirs available, and I just don't think the Legion team is going to be able to make it across the map in time to actually do significant damage and get some kind of parity going in this game. Going to a pause here. The anti-hype pause. Rough times indeed, but the Legion team, they're going to do their best to move as quickly as possible. They got to be expedient if they want to make something happen here. But I just don't know if they can. If Meraxis does not have to burn a buyback, which he should not have to, he should be able to finish up his sheepstick in just about the next minute or so. And there we go. Lulpix showing, hey, we're ready. Go, says Nier. We're going to get right back on into this one. 45 minutes into this first game between the Diesel Electric Locomotives and Team Psycho. And we definitely got work being done. Rocky Balboa wants that sheepstick. He wants it to be finished up. But 4 players from the Legion team moving up the middle lane right now. They're looking to force a buyback on at least the Tempest, but Tempest doesn't have one. So they're going to be able to get a little bit of free damage done on this tower, most likely, as Sandwraith pushes up the bottom lane. He's got the Mirage available so that when the engagement happens, he will be able to be there. And no, Rocky Balboa needs another 20 seconds of gold trickle to finish up the sheepstick. But already the Legion team falling back. They were too afraid of the buybacks that were possible and not confident enough without a pickoff of actually breaking into their opponent's base. More big pickups coming in here. Soul Reaper going to be able to get a Frostfield plate, bumping his armor up to 27. And of course, with that movement speed aura reduction, attack speed aura reduction. Attack speed reduction aura. Wow, that was difficult to say. That's certainly going to help against heroes like the Sandwraith and even this Keeper of the Forest. In addition, the slow going to definitely help to create even more chaos, the chaos that Soul Reaper thrives on in these team fights. And Meraxis has the money for his sheepstick, hasn't purchased it yet. Perhaps just holding on, making sure that he has enough for a buyback should he come to need it. And Geometer's Bane will be finished up here momentarily on Sandwraith. Where is his Beast Heart? Did he sell the Beast Heart? It appears that he sold the Beast Heart. An interesting decision, as he feels that he just needed to finish up that Geometer's Bane as soon as possible, and I don't disagree with him. It's going to be a very crucial element to these upcoming team fights, generating additional chaos, and of course making sure to provide that additional damage. So, this next team fight is going to be off the hook. The Hellborn team looking to try to force something at Kongor. Legion, they look willing to engage, kind of congregating around this bottom area. Sandwraith going to be doing some pushing up in the top lane where that tower is at about 75% life already. And Tree Dogs going out, scouting, trying to figure out just when they need to engage on this Kongor fight. Where is Parasite? He's in the bottom lane, can actually drag creeps right here. He needs to drop him off in this bottom lane, and the creeps are going the wrong direction. Without Parasite being able to get out there, I don't know if they're going to be able to engage us, and no. The Legion team appears to be falling back a little bit. But here they come, moving forward, well within vision of both the red power throw and the ward of sight. And, well, actually, Tepa's going to come in, drops the Elemental Void, but, well, push stick immediately and keep the forces out of it. A Mirage is going to be used here. And Parasite going in on Miraxis, but the Matrax going to be activated. Sandwraith hits the Shrunken Head. Here comes the first root onto 4 players. Sandwraith doing a lot of damage onto Miraxis. Miraxis is going to survive for now, taken so hard with the Matrax, but he will drop eventually. Sandwraith taking a Demonic Execution, but he's still alive. The only players that are dead so far are the Ophelia. Miraxis has bought back as the Rax are taking a lot of damage up in the top lane. Miraxis trying to finish those ones off as Keeper of the Forest and Sandwraith are still looking for another kill. Nice wall. They're going to be able to pick off Tempest here with the Codex. And now Soul Reaper in some trouble. Has the Token of Life. They're turning it around onto Parasite. He's like, Beef, you thought I was in trouble? Ha 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 ha. Not going to happen. Sandwraith going in hard right here. But down goes Parasite. A bloodbath streak for Soul Reaper. Ophelia goes down for the second time. And now Soul Reaper taking a lot of damage. And is he going to die? The deserted auto attack's doing a lot. Shell Surf goes out right here as Bubbles does have to fall back. Sheepstick turnaround onto Sandwraith. He's going to get the Keeper of the Forest armor. And Miraxis is going to activate the Matrax. Has a portal key with a stomp in 4 seconds. Going to walk forward right here looking to Keeper of the Forest, but they have no vision to scout him out while Invis. Bubbles will try to get away using the Shell Surf and the portal key. TP on out. And he is gone. Holy guacamole, ladies and gentlemen. This game is getting absolutely insane. Panny trying to make his way up a cliff. It's not going to happen. Sandwraith does come in with the Shrunken Head after the Mirage. They turn it around, and Miraxis is going to be going down here. Mr. Ling in there. Going to get the pick off onto a little 4 players down for the Hellborn team. Demonic Execution onto Mr. Ling. Down goes Keeper of the Forest. Soiper drops, but he's got the Token of Life. There's the Mirage, excuse me, the Geometer's Bane activated. Soiper likely going to drop a Genocide. No, a second buyback coming in on Rocky Balboa's Miraxis to prevent the Genocide. Holy crap, this is the first game of the first series of the day, guys. I am hype. I am very, very hype. 50 minutes in. 65 hero kills in this game. A massive comeback. 2 racks down. Maybe another massive comeback. No, they're going on to Sandwraith right here. The Glacial Blast going to be used. The Elemental Void not even needed as Sandwraith will drop. Parasite likely going to go down as well. And he will. He bites the dust. He's in the penalty box for a full 80 seconds. This should be what the Hellborn team needs to march across the map and put an end to this game. No buyback on Sandwraith. It's got to be a power play for a minimum of 60 seconds as Parasite does have that buyback. Bubbles heading up top. Going to be looking for a backdoor. Should be able to finish off this melee ranks. And if he does not finish the melee ranks, he will at least force a buyback, or excuse me, a TP. And in fact, Luna is trying to hold off the racks. Bubbles hitting hard, but not hard enough. Sheepstick going to be used, and melee racks will drop right here. Well played. Bubbles going to use the portal key and Shell Surf to get out of there. The Throne going to be taking some damage. Parasite already buying back. It's going to be a 4v4 engagement. Bubbles gets the science onto 2. Kelfield onto 3. Parasite going hard onto Tpsy in the backfield. The root going to finish off Tempest nice and easy. There's the refresher. The second root going to be available. Matrix, as they start to wail away on the throne, they're going hard. They want to end it right here, right now. Demonic execution onto Bubbles. He's taking a lot of damage. The Matrix detonation finishes off that little turtle. Sandwraith up in 3 seconds. And the World Tree is plenty alive. Demonic breastplate is up. The World Tree, will it die? Miraxis gonna go down right here. He gets Codex down. Ophelia retreating. Soul Reaper going hard. There's descent in the ranks as Ophelia has run. Soul Reaper trying to finish this off right now. He's not going to be able to. Soul Reaper goes down. Ophelia hightails it. She's likely gonna die as well. And oh my god, what is going on in this game? Aluna is at 30 life right here. She's going to have to TP back. Ophelia survives, grabs the regen rune. The Legion team now making their way up. 3 sets of post-haste bought immediately by the Legion team. Keeper of the Forest is going to summon trees as soon as he gets there, and everyone is going to TP up. They're going to look to equalize this rack situation. This game is not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing stopping the Locomotives except for the 3 players on the Hellborn team. Buyback on Soul Reaper. He expends his last one. There come the ports from the post-haste. Sheepstick immediately onto Parasite. Tower gonna get glyphed up here. Not gonna take damage for a couple of seconds. Sandwraith Illusion gonna go down. The tower was all they were able to get as Tempest did respawn. He had the Elemental Void. And the Hellborn team holds once again. The Legion team holds once again. But this is the concern for the Diesel Electric Locomotives. 850 HP on the World Tree, 3 health regenerated per second. This is going to take a literal eternity for that World Tree to get up to 100% life. The Hellborn team can keep suiciding onto it if they want to. But I somehow suspect that is not going to be the game plan. Elemental Void immediately onto 2 players here. This is huge. Matrix used, but no! Mistime. Shrunken Head gets off, and Sandwraith will get out of there. Mr. Ling will drop. He has no buyback, and that is still gigantic. But they should have been able to pick off 2. Sandwraith got that Shrunken Head just a little bit too early. Rocky Balboa, unfortunately, mistiming the Quake. And Sandwraith lives as a result, but the Hellborn team, they're looking for this power play once more. 5-on-4. Marching up the middle lane. They have 1,000 life between them and victory in game number 1. They're looking to end this one right now. Sandwraith going hard. There's the Mirage going to be activated. Barry Auto going off. So much being done right now. The Kelfield is in there already. We do have a lot of damage being done. Demonic execution on the Sandwraith. And Sandwraith is going to go down. The Hellborn team in a phenomenal position to end this right now. And GG well played is being called as the World Tree will drop. And the Hellborn team makes a gigantic comeback. Holy moly, Team Psycho upsets Ascension yesterday, and they've taken the first game off of the top-ranked Diesel Electric Locomotives, and Yolam and the boys have got some work to do going into game number 2, as that game was absolutely insane, and I have to say, holy moly, well played to the boys over on Team Psycho. I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to game number 2. Are we going to see a third game? Are we going to see it closed out in 2? Are Yolam and the boys getting eliminated in the 3rd round of this tournament? You're going to have to stick around and find out. We got game number 2 coming up next year. This is, of course, Colecast coverage of Ultimate Series Pandasoul with me, your casting host, Beef. Sender was here, but he got DDoSed, and I'm a little bit upset that he was not here for that game because that game was insane, and Doombringer was on the way for Yolam. And I just don't know, man. It's getting pretty insane up in here, guys. But we're going to go ahead and kick it over to a quick break while we get the next game set up. One more time, well played to Team Psycho, and I am very hyped for game number 2. Guys, I do want to remind you about the promotion going on right now over at creative.com. I actually I need to pull that one up again, and I forgot to get it ready. So hold on 1 second here. Creative.com, if you're looking for DJ Rhapsody, if you have not had success in actually getting Rhapsody through the various contests and giveaways that are going on, well, there's a surefire way to get it right now. Going on over at creative.com, get a free DJ Rhapsody code with your purchase of any of these 3 select headsets using the code that you see on your screen. This will, of course, get you $50 off That means $199.99 for the Recon 3D Omega, including the high quality $129 sound card that you see on your screen right there. And then you get $70 off on the Tactic 3D Omega using that code on screen, bringing it down to $129.99, and 10% off either the Tactic 3D Rage or Rage Wireless. All of those, of course, available over at creative.com, and a DJ Rhapsody code with your purchase of any of those using the codes you see on the screen. And you can even support Colecast by doing this if you actually use the link below in the description. Click on the image that shows the Rage Wireless there in the description here on Colecast, and that'll take you right over to creative.com, and I'll get my referral right there. So you guys can help me and Colecast out, as well as getting an awesome headset and an awesome avatar. One more time, creative.com. Promotion expires on the 27th of this month, and this is unfortunately US only. We're actually working with Creative over in Europe to try to get it extended over there, as I know a lot of my viewers and the Han fans in general are from out of the North American region, so we want to help you guys out as well. But guys, we're going to go into game 2 right here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. This is Colecast, Beef, and Ultimate Pandasoul. We'll be right back.